The stream is streaming. Woohoo! Okay. What happened last session?
What happened last session?
Yes.
Questions to answer. I'm having a really hard time. Can
Tunnels?
you tell me what happened?
Tunnels, Hermit, White Wolf
Yeah,
Dead.
right. Hermit, tunnels, conversation with Crimson, and the Dagger's alive now. Shadow, the Wolf's dead, and that's where we ended, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the exact last thing that happened in the session was, though.
White Wolf died, and you and Aerithim. Oh, Serenity got banned back. Because she got banished. Aerithim got unstunned. And he was more or less like, this Rimon's finally dead, sort of thing. Okay. Aerithim kind of looks down at the dead White Wolf and said, well, did you at least, get the thing that we were talking about?
He points to Crimson. I was told they were able to do it. You can see how there's an issue right now. Right, we talked about Crimson getting up. They said they could, but needed time.
Mm-hmm.
You got any more room in that fairly empty house of yours?
What, am I becoming a hotel? Yes. I do. Serenity says, I don't think she needs to be awake. And you, of course, look over and she's cradling that little mason jar with the ruby. And the ruby glows red.
Never mind then.
You already did it.
Oh. Right.
Of course I did! Thank you for
I
that.
mean, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not accessing even the 10% of the brain I'm supposed to have access to right now.
She says, the second you see it though, however, you're instantly blasted. And I mean like flash banged, stun grenade, sort of like blasted. You just got ripped apart by an A10, sort of like absolutely obliterated. Filled with dread by two words. In your mind, you hear, we're back. And your mind, the second you see that gem, your mind just shatters. The psychosis has made a grand reprise.
Oh, joyous. Oh, frabtious day. Let me go retrieve it.
so
Really?
bad.
Just
in
looking
fact.
at it?
Yeah, looking at it. You,
Hmm.
you look away, still there.
I don't have it saved.
It is so bad, in fact, that until Thrick gets used to it again, you will have disadvantage on all rolls.
All rolls. Interesting.
All rolls.
I found it, by the way.
Okay.
Cool. Cool. Not to mention I do believe it was disadvantage on Constitution and Strength. Also, does Telek require attunement? An attunement slot now? Because it didn't in the past.
No.
And those things are usually in relation to, like, yeah, while attuned to the artifact.
Oh. Then yeah.
So it does require attunement.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You're gonna have to give me a second to see if I can actually modify that. Okay. I can't add attunement, but I have one spare slot, so
Okay.
that slot is now filled. Woo!
She continues. Crimson, before you came in, said that an act of love would be able to do what White Wolf was able to do.
Trying to gather his thoughts for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
He just nods his head solemnly, closing his eyes, furrowing the brow, like he's like, I hear you, I get what you're saying. Keep talking if you want to. I'm having
Issues.
issues. Yeah. Just slowly trying to gather his thoughts again.
Aerithim kind of like walks up next to you. Well, don't be too proud of yourself. We still gotta get Crimson out of here.
He just keeps nodding. He more absent-mindedly than ever switches over to I'm telling you, man, I don't know what happened. It's like I'm in his boots right now. I can't think.
Yeah.
Young form
Uh-huh.
and picks up Crimson.
When you do, you notice a purple amulet on her. Just a gemstone. No casing, it's just a gemstone amulet.
Hmm.
And it kind of just falls, not off of her, but just follows the gravity, of course.
They look like a magic item of some sort.
Upon closer inspection, yeah, it could be. You hear the fast feet. Two pairs. Trampling the leaves through the forest to try and get to you. Laurelin and Fear
Oh.
have come back. And,
You're a little late.
so, well, frankly, we just had to run a long way.
There.
So he's dead?
Best I could do.
Well, I mean, is Crimson okay?
He just kind of like nods down at her, like, I don't know.
Fear rushes over, sort of like places his hand on her cheek.
He looks at Fear.
She didn't exactly seem like she knew you.
Really?
I made an inquiry.
And you're certain this is the only tiefling here? And he looks to Laurel and she nods. It's the only other tiefling here. It has to be. But last time I saw her, she was 8.
He just shrugs his shoulder. Like, it's like, yes, I'm trying to listen to you, but there's a lot of yelling right now.
Yeah. Laurelin kind of like, or Fear in this case, kind of just to like realign and to keep keep her belongings. He kind of grabs the amulet and places it on her chest. But as he does, he recoils a little bit when he does, and then places it down.
You doing all right?
Thrick's not gonna stand here though. He's gonna start walking.
Yeah. I think it just I think that's a crayon, which didn't show me the greatest things.
He nods.
Laurelin
Assumedly
says,
that's...
Huh?
Assumedly he saw some of what would have been contained on that crayon.
Yeah.
And
Do we have a place to stay? Arithim? Want to keep us? God. Yes, fine.
You know there are none left.
no, he doesn't say that.
I might start charging for you guys. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
In your hometown, that would surprise me.
I know. Okay, you smart little chubby kobold.
Not little or chubby.
Oh, right.
He like looks.
Right.
He kind of like nods at himself.
Okay, big, buff. Sort of my.
Please stop. This is not. I don't know if what is happening now is right.
He doesn't say that.
I hope none of this is canon either.
No.
Thank goodness this conversation. Thank good we can rewrite reality when it's convenient or too awkward.
Yes, fine. Fine. As long as you're happy sleeping on the couch. And Fear's like, I can sleep outside. Arithim says, why not?
If they keep getting any more into it, Thrick's just gonna like turn to Laurelin and That's my last psionic die for the day. You good?
Yeah, I'm just letting Chloe inside the room.
Yeah. I'm gonna use psionic link with just Laurelin.
Just Laurie. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey!
And at first, cause he's not used to blocking it, like a ton of the voices blast through, and then he like way constrains it. Sorry about that.
You know, she kind of jumps, startled a little bit. Cause, I mean,
Suddenly a bunch of like frickin' other people's voices just start yelling in her head, and she's like, "Stop!" And he's like, "Sorry."
What the
It's
hell
just
was
me.
that?
The same thing you heard before.
Okay.
They're
Jeez.
just back now for some reason.
Okay.
I wanted to ask a strange request of you.
What's that?
Do you know the spell Find Object?
Yeah? Why?
You remember that old mask of yours?
Yeah?
Could you cast that spell looking for that mask?
Did you really lose it? I'm just yeah, okay.
I didn't just lose it, it fell from orbit.
Seems legit. She doesn't say that. Okay.
I had a few thoughts about how to retrieve it, but do you remember Insignia? I don't know how long it's been since we last saw each other. Since you last saw me, it seems like it's been a deal of time. You remember Insignia, though?
You did, last time you saw her was in the fog. Because remember, remember that giant fight where you were all separated? She came in at the very end of that.
Well, yeah. No. Because she looks like she's gone through a lot more time
Oh, yeah,
than
absolutely.
Brick has.
Yeah, okay,
That's what he's getting
okay,
at.
okay.
He's like, I don't know if it's been like 300 years and you just barely remember my name, or if it's only been like a few extra months, right? I don't know how long it's actually been.
Uh-huh.
So that's why he's phrasing it that way.
Okay.
You remember Insignia?
Yeah.
A part of her is out and about.
And he reaches and grabs one of the, I think, a few amulets that are around his neck right now, and he pulls out the one Inverna gave him.
I offered up a new body for the one named Inverna. She's currently under the Ephemeral's thumb, and this is her insurance that I follow through on my word. Getting that thing back, what your mask is now attached to, would allow me to help both her and myself out.
Do you want me to go retrieve it after I find it?
If you would be able to, yes, the mask and hopefully the exo.
I can do my best.
Looks like a...
Say again?
I'll do my best.
Thank you.
She starts casting that spell.
He tucks the amulet away.
Wow. Alright, I'll be back. And she just teleports away.
Thank you.
Well, if she's within a mile of him, that thank you does make it through.
No.
Oh. Keeps making his way towards Artham's place. Arthane.
Damn.
Arthane.
Serenity. kind of walks up behind you. Or not behind you, next to you, sorry. She kind of gives you like a you know, one of those things where it's like somebody like gives you like a shoulder nudge to like start a conversation. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shoulder nudge, just like,
Sort of.
kind of bumps you with their shoulder or elbow.
Yeah.
And like, hey, you know, what's up? What's good, homie?
Yeah.
Serenity does that. Thank you for coming back.
Sorry for sending you away.
I actually suppose I have a lot to thank you for.
Please don't.
Okay.
Just don't give up despite what I've done.
Okay. Eventually you all make it back. Fear and Arathem are shooting the
Each other.
they shoot each other.
By the end of it.
They seem to actually have bonded
Really?
well. Yeah. Just two homies. Of
They're
course,
drinking
Fear,
buddies, but by
yeah.
the time we get back.
Exactly. But of course, Fear has no clue what this man has done. And I don't think Arathem has any clue what Fear's done. So it's just sort of like our personalities.
Two monsters walk into a bar.
And Fear says, or no, sorry, not Fear. Serenity, God. Serenity says,
You've introduced too many characters too fast.
well,
You can't even keep up with them.
you know, she had a home over here. We could take her there. So she wakes up in a place familiar.
Make that much of a difference. I don't trust Erytham, but it's at least closer. If you think it best, then sure. Just call me paranoid if you have to.
Let's take her to her home.
Alright.
Arathem just
I'll look.
goes inside his house.
Him and Fear walk and like, I got drinks in the fridge.
No, Fear would be like, we'll continue that later. I gotta.
Oh.
Yeah, and he runs to catch up with you guys. Okay. Yeah, you guys eventually make it to a small shack up in
What?
the trees.
What's Fear like this whole time?
In what way?
I don't know. What's just his demeanor, right? Now that he's no longer, shooting the shit with Erytham, alright? Is it like concern, or is it like, I have an objective I'm
Roll insight.
working towards?
Roll insight.
I hereby invoke, Replenish.
Okay. Pasai.
Insight. 26.
Okay. 26. He... Once getting away from Erytham, his composure, not composure, but his kind of like carefree-ish, sort of like chill attitude just immediately drops.
Hmm.
And he kind of like slowly walks beside you guys. In contemplation and sadness.
He'll,
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, never mind.
Okay. Thurgle just kind of look at Fear.
So what brings you to now?
I don't know. It just sort of happened.
And what happened before it happened? Or was happening? If you don't mind me asking.
I fell asleep in a forest.
In this forest?
No. Farther north.
Farther north. Trying to think where we... Would that mean the trees of Zalos?
No. That would be...
Anemus? We're in Anemus, though.
Yeah. Near Desolation. Bah. Right there. Bah. It's like right above Incendium. Right above it. There's Desolation right there.
New Desolation? Desolate... To the left of the woods of Anemus?
Yep.
Ah. Okay. Right next... Right, like, on a lake or whatever it is.
Yeah, near.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Fell asleep in a forest. Woke up. Ended up
Now
in a
you're
different
here.
time.
I don't even know how to react to that besides almost just expecting it at this point.
I did wake up with something interesting though.
Pray do tell.
You know, some people, warlocks in particular, they have they commune with a higher power. Not necessarily a god, but something above them that keeps their soul in a cage, rather, maybe.
Some degree, yes.
Similar to clerics. In this case, I woke up with two beings inside my head. Don't necessarily know their name or their purpose, but they seem to be helping me through this, so can't really argue. Though they do speak a lot, so.
He kind of smiles.
I know the feeling. You ever try naming them? You seem to be able to count the amount of voices you can hear.
It's the raven and the beast, is what I like to call them. Beast is more violent, primal, aggressive. vile. Raven's much more contemplative.
He nods.
You said they're being helpful.
Some cases, yeah. Beast helps me in combat, Raven. Anytime. They're the ones who actually noticed that we were not in the same time as we were. But I suppose that the bodies hanging from the trees weren't there didn't tell me enough.
Thinking back on it and how old he is, that's what? So he probably went to. He's probably from a time. You said right after? Sometime after the raid on the palace, right?
Yeah.
So, assumedly, those are because of that. And then. So he went. Gosh, he disappeared before Vylar went back there and reappeared after Vylar left.
Did it ever make into the history books?
What?
To put it nicely, the dissolution of the Janthu family.
Oh. Well, I don't know what it's called there now, but it's called desolation.
Last time I was there, no one was there, so desolation kind of fits, huh?
Well. What happened to them made it into the books, yes. But it's not what the Janthus are known for. Well, it's not what Vylar's known for.
The kid. The kid.
The kid.
What did he get up to?
That's a hard one. I don't know what's dangerous to tell you. Just because of when you're from. But since I haven't been stopped yet, something's right or something will go wrong. Maybe it'll change something. Vylar went on to create a race. Sapiens. They're called Incende. Souls of pure beings, placed into new beings. They're either slaves or they're rulers. One such person was named Melbani. Vylar's child, I believe.
That's right, right? Sort of child?
Sort of child, yeah.
Sort of child.
A sort of child to Vylar. He went on to... Well, he went on to kill death. For the first time. And raised beings that we call...
Oh gosh, I haven't had to use this name in so long.
The Vega?
Vega, thank you. That went on to be called the Vega. Any spirit that felt it had been wronged in life rose again and sought the destruction of whoever had wronged them. Killed a great portion of the planet. It was eventually stopped, or Mel was. The Vega stopped when they finished their business. But Mel was stopped by the Painful Eight. You were there. At one point. Though, much older you.
Uh, okay. Uh, was that nice? Did I die?
Did he die? I don't actually know. The Storm Giant was apparently something, but I don't know anything about the Storm Giant, and I don't think that would make it into the history
I
books.
think he died. He didn't die.
To my knowledge, you didn't. You might even be alive today. I don't know.
He's a tiefling, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have some method of prolonging your life, so I won't speak to it.
Oh man, that'd be weird.
Many beings live for a longer time than you'd expect. I never assume anymore. But, you didn't die. You were... You were of help to the Painful Eight at some point, but... exactly what happened after that point, I can't really tell you. They made a trip to meet you specifically, actually.
What?
Then later Vylar, but whatever history between you two is not the reasoning for it.
Why me? Did I... What? Why me? Am I a business owner?
I believe you're a father.
Really? Me? Really?
He nods.
Oh, that one slipped through, huh? Dang. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. What was the name?
I believe their name was Catherine. He had an Arctic fox. Can you tell me what happened to it? The history books don't say, but I have my theories. No, he doesn't say that.
Though he does actually, he does genuinely wonder what happened to the Arctic fox.
Amity was a Janthu. Astrofel and Cat were Nicothenas. Oh boy!
Was that right?
I don't think that was right actually. Astrofel was something.
I can't remember the whole thing here.
Astrofel was Fear's first child. Cat
Astrofel
was
Yeah, Cat was related to him, right?
Yeah, Cat was the second child.
Because
So,
then who was DJ's first character?
Amity.
Amity was related to... Yeah, she was a Janthu and related to Mel.
Yeah, but only through
Only through name?
No. That was an actual biological child. Amity was with Neytiri. But Mel was of course the first child, but then Sunday.
So this has been correct to lore.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget what... Sorry, I'm gonna have to just double check something, because this is... Oh, 101 guy. Yeah. Yeah. Astrofel and Amity were married, and they had a child named Verity, which was the child.
The child.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's so weird. So, the two families
Married.
became one in
Mhm.
the end with Verity?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's not what I was expecting. Would this just be clicking in his head
Yeah.
in this moment, I suppose?
Yeah.
Wait. 1 second.
Okay.
I have food.
Food.
Good food. It's good.
Good
It's
soup.
good soup.
Good
It's good soup.
What is that?
French onion soup.
Heck yeah. With?
A baguette and a barbecue chicken sandwich from Panera Bread.
Heck yeah. Frick Panera Bread though, but heck yeah.
What? Why?
Frickin' heck Panera Bread, because they got rid of bread bowls. My favorite soup.
They did?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways.
I'm boycotting Panera. Ever since I realized that they took away that menu item, I've boycotted Panera.
You're missing out, man.
No, I'm not. Nope,
To each their own, I suppose.
I am not. I also had a really awesome restaurant that had a loaded baked potato soup in a bread bowl, and they got rid of that.
Oh no. Okay, that one boycott's reasonable.
Yeah. Well, that also happened at Panera though. You understand?
Yeah, but whatever other soup it was not as important.
It was loaded baked potato
Oh shoot! All right.
at
Never
Panera
mind.
and the other.
Okay, but I order French onion. So
I suppose. You know, cheese and broccoli is really good one.
ooh, I have had that one too. Long time ago.
Some pretty good stuff. Oh, I can't do this anymore because this is a white supremacist sign. My bad.
Is it what?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Are you talking about those cops in the picture with the mayor?
It's not a cop. Oh, it's a white supremacist sign.
This is
Yeah.
the okay sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
This is the okay sign.
Okay. He use it in diving. Haha. Yeah, well, it's like how they turned Pepe into a white supremacist thing. It's like, okay, well, yeah, exactly. Anyway,
I'm gonna follow Christian's philosophy of don't let bad people ruin good things.
exactly. All right. So yes, that does all click.
It like clicks in his head, and then a voice yells, "But where did the white fox go? Where did it go?" And he's like, "No. There was something more important. Something, right."
Where did it go?
He looks like Tafir. It looks like he has an epiphany, and then he loses it,
Mm-hmm.
and then he has the same then it looks like he has another epiphany, but it's just the same one.
Things. All right over there.
What's your opinion of Vylar
Valar.
and
Jan-
the Janthus?
Ooh. It's a loaded question.
It's a loaded answer to what you asked, so... I can't imagine you have a very high opinion of him. Considering his face and a dead family.
They were very harsh slave drivers. It's very, very harsh. You stepped out of line once, they'd kill you. Or hang you just enough from a tree so your death lasted hours.
Ah. Well,
But what we did wasn't right. And I regret that.
What's your family name?
Nicothena?
There comes a point in time where Janthu and Nicothena both apply to a single child.
I'm sorry.
Your descendants and Vylar's. I don't think they knew about either of your squabbles. One of the painful 8 at a time. And her husband. Matter of fact, I believe that child is still alive.
Wow. Okay. So I see Viola again.
I can't say that. I don't know. But your children meet.
Well, I can only assume that we made good. We made up.
Maybe. You've lived a while in Glantham. You've had a front row seat to its brutality.
Yeah. Sorry. Come here. Come here. Oh, you...
Dog!
I love you, dog! Okay. Anyways.
Well, what was I saying?
You've had a front row seat.
You've had a front row seat to the darkness.
No.
Darkness. The dark.
Okay. Okay. Who has said these things?
You can.
Who has said these things?
Who has said these things?
Who said these things?
You okay?
But down the line, things change. The darkness of the world doesn't go away, but the people fighting it. They don't go away either.
Well, that is the breath of Calanthum. Gotcha, Chloe. I gotcha. I've gotcha.
My mom just burst into my room and traded sandwiches with me.
Okay.
I had her sandwich and she had mine.
Okay.
Now I have mine and she has hers. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
because I was trying to. She doesn't want to be on the stream.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So I
Ah!
was warning her. Yeah, I was like,
Don't come closer.
you give me a second.
Yeah. This is the breath of Calanthum. How things go around.
Yeah.
I have. It's a little hard to explain. But,
Yeah, I've got a rash on the. Anyways.
There's been this.
Not that kind of cleric.
Not that kind of clear. Yeah, I've been pooping blood recently. I just want you to check that out if you can.
Yeah. My recommendation is go find somebody who knows what they are doing. Biology is not my expertise.
No, but he says, there's just been this quote running through my mind recently. A friend used to tell me, his name was Fear, that's kind of where I got my name, but he said, in relation to the Janthus, these people don't enjoy this. They lost their own, they were ravaged and tortured, killed, and were pushed to the point of exterminating their enemy. But there was no celebration or quiet afterward. Quiet for healing and mourning, because no loss of life should be celebrated, only regarded as necessary. Some people just aren't going to change. Nip it in the bud and change the world yourself. And that's by the blade or by the tongue. Who knows?
I think you've just handed me the perfect answer to a question I've asked a few times. You familiar with the question of the blade or the sword? The pen or the sword?
The blade or the sword?
The blade or the sword, yes. The blade or the sword. I personally choose blades. More options. No, the pen or the sword. I think the best response is the question is ridiculous.
I can see that, yeah.
Neither is alone perfect.
Some loss of life is necessary. It's kind of hard to admit, though, because, of course, the moral thing to do is to keep thy neighbor alive. But in some cases, can't help it.
Begrudgingly, I agree. You can see what I've done. But it shouldn't be the first choice. That's all.
Sometimes it has to be, though. Just not always. I do get carried away sometimes. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. Like back with the White Wolf when I first saw him. I just let anger take me.
Well, it's the phrase. Don't beat yourself up too bad about it. As long as you can acknowledge it and try and change.
You do remember that moment? And you're kind of hit with the I am your last shadow.
Yeah.
At least we now have Crimson back. So.
Suppose. Might I ask a question? Sorry if it seems like I'm drilling you for answers. There's a lot going on right now. But, you had a very curious choice of words before bringing that blade down. I'm your last shadow. Why those words? Of all others you could have said.
It was said to me, and I thought it was pretty nice to say. I always see as like, a hunter before they devour their prey. The last thing that prey sees is a shadow. It was said to me. So I can't take credit for it.
Who by? If you don't mind my inquiry.
Vylar.
Give me 1 second.
It's good soup.
How do you spell Vylar?
Vylar. I do believe.
Do you think Vylar got it from somewhere?
What?
Sorry. When you were doing that, I got a notification from Abrupt Chaos.
Oh.
It's this guy. You see him on the top of the truck there. He's grasping onto a power line, and that electrocutes everyone at the bottom. Because, bro, that is, okay. Anyways.
Grounding. Anyways.
Sorry, I just had this hilarious idea of someone. Anyways.
No.
Vylar? I don't know. I can't tell you. It was the only night I actually saw him before I maced him to the face. Mace to the face. Brigitte may have gotten that from Brig, but anyways.
Yeah.
Before I did mace him in the face.
Sounds like a similar context as what you heard it in.
Yeah. Vylar was a hurt individual. Though I always think that it is strange for somebody of that age to be so evil sometimes.
How old was Vylar at that point? Like teens, right?
Yeah, like 15, 16.
Yeah.
I suppose it's a good argument of nature versus nurture.
I suppose. But those who grow up in harsh times, such as being a slave or through an apocalypse, don't always end up being the best people either.
Can imagine. Though, Galantham seems to stay in a state of apocalypse. At least in recent years. Can I ask, though,
Go ahead.
despite it all, why do you choose that path? Something along the lines of knowing it wasn't right.
I learned throughout that time being under their rule that if you decide as punishment, or yeah, as punishment rather, yeah, hanging somebody on a tree, disemboweling them, making themselves cut themselves open. It does nothing. Raiding a castle, killing the family, what's that gonna do? It's just gonna hurt them more. Hurt people, right? I feel like the only time it's worthy to kill, or it's time to kill, is when there's no end in sight to the wrongdoing. Any other time, rather, it's fine to find a more diplomatic and loving solution. Kill them with a hug, not with a weapon.
Kill him with kindness. Just don't name your axe kindness.
Yeah.
Or do. And always kill them with kindness. I don't care. But what changed it? From starting a rebellion to maybe not seeking forgiveness. I don't exactly know why you're here still. But having a changed opinion.
It was a couple things. It wasn't necessarily just one. I met somebody. A woman. That taught me discipline.
Is he talking about Laurelin? Or a different woman? What?
You don't know.
You know who?
You do not know.
I do not know. Okay.
I also took time, a lot of time, to try and put myself in his shoes. Later, I did learn the Jantu family wasn't particularly nice to Vylar. He may have grown up in royalty, yeah, but just because you can back in a butler at any time of the day or night doesn't mean that you're going to have the best life. Also, the Raven is also a big help.
Not just a voice of callous logic, a bit more than that.
Yeah. What about you? You kill
About
with
me?
kindness type of person?
I hope to, but I'm of a similar disposition. I've made my own mistakes. And then things change. Maybe I'm trying to atone for sins. Sins no one can forgive me of, besides myself, or maybe it's more.
Don't do
But right now I've found what works. So,
Good.
yeah, kill him with kindness. But I'm not afraid to defend myself, people, and my friends.
It's silly, don't. It's silly to look to others to atone for sins. DTs, what are they gonna do? Nothing. It's just an excuse. It's just an excuse. For
You're
yourself.
catching me at the right time. I've returned to being atheist.
Well,
Except for Serenity's mother here. Long story, never mind.
yeah, I'm of the opinion that gods are nothing special. It's just normal people with a lot of power. Them told you that.
Eritham told me that. I think you're right, but I don't think it's the full picture. Does that make sense? Sure, they are people. They do possess a lot of power. But there is something more to it. Sure, they made our souls, and when we die, we go somewhere. But when one of them dies, they're not like a normal person. Their power, it seeps into the world. And they don't possess souls. Not the normal ones.
You ever wonder what the world was like before? Before sorry, I'm just looking at the stupid things DJ sent in staging area.
No.
What was I saying? Sorry. Oh right.
I was looking at those earlier, and I was like, little does he know. Who are you gonna call? First person to call up in a situation is Eritham. Like, twice in a row now.
Well, I do wonder what it was like before their creations walked this planet, or even what it was like before the Boa Ekran made the universe.
For what?
The Boa Ekran.
How do you spell it?
I'm not going to tell you.
Boa
Ekran.
Ikren.
Ekran.
Jeez.
I suppose I actually will. Never mind. It would be a lot easier.
Oh, it's too late now. Don't
Okay.
send it.
Okay.
I don't want it. Nope. You've committed, and now I've committed.
Okay.
The Boa Kran. It's a new name.
Yep. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I haven't told Laurelyn this. I'm not fully here. Feels like I'm half here, like half of my consciousness or attention is here, but the other half is elsewhere. It's I don't know.
You've given me a lot to unravel in literally 2 sentences. Can we start at the top? Boa Ikran.
Yeah.
I've only ever heard the terms for the creator to be Tiamat, Brennalay, and Aru.
Those are Calantham terms. I got that from wherever my other half is.
Give me a second. I always feel weird taking notes in a session like this, because usually other players can like fill in some of the silence.
Yeah. Oh, freak out chicken maze and free hummus with a $35 order. Shut up.
And I'm speaking to who? Fear?
Yeah! Yeah. Yes.
Is that other place within this time or universe?
Yeah, I don't know.
What is that other place like?
I feel like we're all just projections there. But more than that. We're there, but it's like haven, almost. A haven. Almost like we're not supposed to be. But it's such a deep and rich culture. And I've just entered it months ago, and I still have no understanding.
Is there a concept of time there?
Only because there's a day and night. She's freaking stupid. Doesn't know what she wants, sort of dog, dude. She wants in, she wants out. She wants in, she wants out. She wants in, she wants out.
And the Boa Ikran, is the story the same?
I have been forbidden from that knowledge. But there we call ourselves the Unitiraño. I will actually tell you what how to spell that one. UNI.
They call themselves.
Yeah, the UNILT.
UNILT.
I, but the little dot at the top is an apostrophe.
And this is all one word, right?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second then.
Mm-hmm.
UNILT. I is an apostrophe.
RAN.
RAN.
Y.
Y.
IL.
YIL.
Mm-hmm. The Unitiraño.
Unitiraño. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Unitiraño.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Unit what?
It took me a while.
Unitaranil. Gosh,
You're getting it.
this isn't my native tongue. That's not my native tongue either. Clearly. Do they speak common? Or do we have to get conceptual with what language is now?
I speak common. I have no idea what other languages they speak, but they speak and I understand it.
That's convenient.
It's pretty there.
Kind of pretty.
The fauna, the wildlife is so different to Calanthos. It's vibrant. The night, first off, it's always like it's an eternal twilight at night because above you doesn't sit a sun, but a planet. The light from that planet is brighter than 1,000 of our moons here on Calantho.
Is it a moon?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I have so many strange questions. When you look up, no matter the time of day, does the planet hang above you? Or does it disappear across the horizon?
Sometimes it does.
I'm trying to figure out if the moon is tidally locked.
With that answer,
It doesn't
it's
sound
not.
like it.
No, it's not.
Okay.
What an odd place. What do they have of love, hate, life, death, war, joy?
They have a language that they started developing millennia ago. And they don't even have a word for lying. So if that tells you,
That frames things in a very interesting manner. The people there, are they like the people on Calanthum, or are they, for lack of a better term, alien?
like, do they look like me or people on Calanthum?
Yeah,
Some. Few.
some. Then I suppose the clarification you brought up brings up another question. Are they like us?
No. Nowhere near it.
You mentioned you feel like a projection there.
They call me Dreamwalker.
Ah,
I have nearly a full page of notes on this moon alone.
It's like we're there, I can feel the things that I feel. But everybody's... They're physical, they're there. But there's a dreamy, kind of projection-like quality about everybody. If that makes sense.
you too?
Yeah.
So it is as if people are there, but not entirely.
Well, I seem to be a unique case, actually. I've brought this up to some of the clan leaders, but...
Say that phrase again.
I seem to be unique. Oh god. I seem to be a unique case. I've brought this up to some of the clan leaders.
I thought you said some special thing when you said clan leaders.
Oh.
I was like calamity eaters or something like that. I was like,
Calamity-eaters.
oh jeez, what are these phrases?
I have a strange question. You ever hear tell of one named Valen?
No.
A, by now likely an older gentleman. Carries a glaive. Plans for most things.
No.
Take it that's not very like your society there.
The only weapons they have are spears, daggers, and arrows, but none of them for combat.
Letter openers and sport.
Sorry, what did you say?
Letter openers and sport.
Hunting.
That's combat. They know what death is.
Yeah, but I haven't seen one die.
But other things die.
They're not like us, I don't think.
Mauling it over. I assume we've made it to Crimson's place by now.
Yeah.
Uh.
What? Of course, I haven't even asked the most basic question. What do they call themselves? We here on Clantham. We don't exactly have a name for all peoples from Clantham, but we have a title for what our home is. What is home? Or what are they?
They haven't told me. They're scared that I might use my special connection to reveal where they are.
Rick nods.
That makes sense.
So I thought I shared that. It's been keeping me up sometimes. Because this body would go to sleep and that one. I'd rather be there.
You'd rather what? Sorry.
I'd rather be there.
Ah,
That was me genuinely not hearing you because of the video, the
Yeah.
voices. So I figured it'd be appropriate for him to just ask again.
Yeah.
well,
You don't know anything about that, do you?
I've been told of a place that is paradise, but it may not be. What you describe sounds like paradise, but if it is, I would not want to be the one to disrupt it. But a ship just left this world. One left for a planet named Eve.
Right?
Eva.
Eva. Gosh. Can't remember anything anymore. I'm leaving for a planet named Eva.
Hmm. Okay.
That's all I think I should give you.
There's a.
You must be different.
Hmm?
By all means, go ahead.
There's a. There's a. There's a cave somewhere near the center of our little clan. And inside of it, it's very sacred. Inside of it are the names of the places people came from. Where they walked before. This is what people like to say.
Ever find it?
I haven't been in it. I'm not allowed.
You ever asked, though, if anyone's come from Glantham?
We're not allowed to say anything about our past lives. Unless we're in that cave. So I wouldn't know.
Sounds like they fight hard to keep their peace.
Feels like a haven, yeah.
Wonder how they got like that.
They've been around for a very long time.
Yes, that is why. Forgive me, but that is why I'm confused. It seems like Galantham's time frame sped up. The longer it was around, the faster we hurt ourselves. But also, technology developed. But to me it sounds like you live in a world that still doesn't know what gunpowder is. Oh, and in case you didn't know gunpowder,
No, I'm kidding. It's very weird talking to someone who's displaced by, what, over almost 100 years now?
Well, it's a very giving, it's a give and take with the land there. To mine is forbidden. To cut down trees. The only thing really allowed is to allow us to survive. That's to pick berries, fruit. Kill. But at the end of every hunt, there's always this ritual to return it back. To the land.
I'm glad you have peace there.
Maybe one day you'll show up.
I hope I never see that place.
Really?
You would destroy me.
How come?
I can't be content like that.
Hmm.
I also wouldn't want to poison the well water. Doesn't sound like a place that needs me. Therefore, I have no reason to be there. And I hope I never find out where that is. The mind is not a lockbox like we think it is. It is not as sacred, it is not as hidden as we want it to be. That's why I don't ask you questions of where you are. I might want to know the name, but on a second thought, don't want the full explanation. If it really is as you say, I hope it goes untouched for a long time.
I hope so.
Or it'll produce people like you. Maybe you're a... Maybe it's like a gardener. You being here is another seed it might be able to sow. I just don't know which direction. Which direction the universe will flow, into or out of it. You seem like a good person. But I do not want to risk much else.
It's admirable. Though sad.
Maybe. But that's why I'm glad for you. Sounds like you do find peace there.
Well, I'll watch over Crimson. You and Serenity, you can head back. I believe you do have some work to do.
That I do.
He was nice talking.
It was. And good luck.
You too.
On Serenity.
She kind of like instinctually like reaches for your hand to hold.
Dirk will turn into a kobold of regular stature and grab her hand.
Okay. She walks out. Crimson laying on the couch, fear, just kind of sitting on another chair, just kind of watching over. You walk back. Serenity's silent.
Dirk looks exhausted. After having to carry Crimson after the fight, and the dagger's not helping.
Yeah.
Actually, he'll try and just as they're going, just like kind of try and like get Telek's attention and be like,
Is there a reason I feel like I'm about to throw up at every given second?
Maybe you're adjusting to the new power?
I hope it's just an adjustment period. But thank you.
Sometimes
Regardless.
there can be some stress along with it. I'll get used to it.
Yeah. Us too. Sorry to disturb you if you're sleeping.
Well, I don't sleep.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh,
What use would a dagger have sleeping?
time to rest.
Well, when I'm sheathed, I rest.
Oh. Okay. Do you want a sheath? I kinda just throw you in my pocket.
It would be nice.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. I feel like I might have asked that question in bad context. Another question. Oh gosh, I'm losing it. Can you see?
Can I see?
Can you see?
Yeah.
Like,
But not how you see.
how many? He looks at like the ground where there's like some fallen leaves. All right. No, like once there's like something that's like numerical, right? Like there's like 2 trees, or like a group of like 3 trees. That's kind of like it's kind of odd, but
Yeah.
it like looks really pretty, right? How many trees are there?
3.
Huh?
I see through you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can you hear the other voices?
I can't see what you're thinking. I can't, I don't know what you're thinking,
Ah,
but I perceive through you.
ah.
I can hear what you hear. Feel what you
If I
feel.
were asleep, would you be able to?
Nope.
Ah,
Yep.
so you do sleep.
No. I just lose perception when you sleep.
Oh, that's gotta be a nightmare.
Eh. It's an odd experience.
Odd gambit.
Yep.
I'm trying to randomly spring a conversation with a knife on you. But I had like these questions started popping up about Tulek, and I was like, I gotta know,
Yeah.
right? I gotta know.
Have you? How much of pulleys and levers do you recall?
Are you talking about way back in the library?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I checked out.
You checked out.
Yeah.
I see. I was gonna ask because I've had some thoughts about a new XO since it's looking like I've gotta give the current one up. I was just wondering how much you could help.
As much as the knife could. Well, I hope your adventures go well.
Thanks. For your and my sake. Me too.
Well, this is much more exciting than sitting on a workbench for over a long time.
Gosh. How long have you existed?
I was made the first day Alistair killed a dragon.
Oh,
Yeah, which was his
wow.
first combat.
That's over 500 years by now.
I am pretty old.
I can see.
But that being said, I didn't really experience much for most of that time.
Yeah, it sounds like. How new of an experience is living? Or do you consider it living? I've got so many questions. I'm sorry if I.
Living as in.
Are you aware of the definitions of sentient versus sapient?
Well, I mean,
It sounds like you were sentient, but at some point you became sapient. And now, I only really know that because you can speak.
yeah, you got it.
I see.
Alistair changed. So much to when I first met him. First created me, I suppose. So much.
For the better or the
I don't
worse?
know.
Just different.
You kind of lost his way for a long time.
What brought him back?
Did I really have to say?
I'm uncomfortable with this question. Can I ask another?
Go ahead.
Um,
He's more flustered than he was expecting to be. And he's like, no, no, no! I shouldn't have asked that question! But to the point where if like Serenity looked at him, it's like it's not just like an internal thing. It like it bleeds through, right? Like you know when like someone goes like red face,
Yeah.
whatever the kobold equivalent of that is.
Your hand is sweaty. Are you okay?
I'm cold-blooded and it's hot. So it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it hot?
It's
It's actually pretty cold.
It's tepid. Tepid.
Tepid.
Tepid.
Tepid.
It's like a little below room temp. Just a little bit.
It's like he like avoids eye contact for many reasons and another one now.
Fine.
Yep. Okay. Mhm. All right.
Charisma score of 8.
Okay. You get back to Erethan's house. Trinity walks in, makes herself comfortable on the couch once again. Erethan, of course, is just kind of, well, he's actually kind of making himself a cup of coffee. Have you tried this?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
You're gonna hate it. Here, take it.
I've heard of it.
He takes a sip.
Isn't that wonderful?
Huh?
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes. This is coffee, right?
Yeah.
I've been meaning to pick some up. For probably not very good reasons, but I'm gonna be wired out of my skin.
He takes another sip.
There we go. Well, enjoy that. There's cream and sugar somewhere.
He takes another sip of it black.
Right. Next phase.
Thank you.
Next phase.
Yeah.
Time for the Tesseract portion of this device.
So we just did the pyramid.
The foundation, yeah.
There's a pyramid. Okay.
Okay.
Time for the Tesseract.
Tesseract.
I don't necessarily know where you can find 100 chronologist wizards around, but that's what we're gonna need.
Oh, only 100.
Yeah.
Awen!
Who's that?
He
just kidding.
he just yells out Eowyn like. Can I make a persuasion check? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, are you familiar with the people who are supposed to keep time in order?
The Elder Toll.
Yeah, the older told. Her name's Eowyn. I believe she's Laurelyn's grandmother.
Okay.
There's a lot of them,
And
to my
the
knowledge.
reason why we haven't been assailed by these people yet is kind of striking, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
They're not hurting us. They also aren't helping either, so.
Yeah.
I left all my chronomancy magic in the other body that got disintegrated a few hours ago. I have very little left on me. Is there an alternative? Unless you want to sit here for what? How long would it take those 100 to make this? A couple hours?
Well, they all have to cast they all have to work pretty hard on it, so it's not gonna.
Yeah, so unless you want to sit here saving up cantrip level increments of
Yeah, that'll
chronomancy,
take
we're gonna have to find
eons.
something. Yeah.
Crimson did mention one. Serenity says.
Well, spill the beans. Tea's the right phrase.
Spill the coffee.
Coffee?
No, he actually does say that, like, kind of under his breath. He's like, something that occurred to me is that he wasn't raised in human society, like, kind of recently, and I was like, there should be some phrases that he's a little unsure of.
Well, this is a time component. Through Erethem says, and Serenity says. Just how you acted on love, you must act for peace with this component.
Who's saying this? Serenity?
Serenity.
Okay.
Erethem hands you kind of like
Here's a fourth dimensional hypercube. Don't drop it, or it'll blow up this whole building.
He gives you a diamond. Yeah, just a diamond. He just gives you a diamond.
It's just a is it like small, like tiny, like
No.
this small
It's like-
diamond is worth 30 quadrillion.
Baseball.
So it's
diamond.
it's an apple.
Yeah.
Dirk looks at it.
How do you get your hands on the funding for this?
The Golden Spires would drop anything and everything to help me in my endeavors. Purely because of my name.
I see.
To you.
Apple diamond. What am I doing with it?
Hello. Go find peace.
Serenity, where do I find peace? That sounds like a stupid question.
Can't you just go meditate or something?
Sure.
He's like,
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
he walks outside,
Okay.
closes the door behind him, looks around, thinks to himself,
How do I meditate? I didn't even know what I was doing when I was praying.
he looks around for somewhere that's away from
You go back to
the
that
city.
fountain?
He goes to the fountain.
Yeah. Okay.
He looks at the fountain. He gets there. Have you ever been walking around, you know what you want to do, but you're trying to figure out how you want to do it? You kind of you just walk into a room and you're just like,
Now what?
yeah. You're just like, I don't know. And then you turn to go, and then you're like, and then you decide on something completely different from what you were just doing.
Yeah.
He gets to the fountain and does that,
Uh-huh.
and he walks off to go find a very tall tree.
All of them are really tall.
Yeah, but taller than tall.
Taller than tall. Roll an investigation.
Jamie, I have a baguette sitting on my
Baguetterino. Dragon. Shire.
Investigation?
At disadvantage.
Investigation. Joke's on you. I have expertise.
Woo!
What is it, the rogue thing? Even if I roll really bad, I still get a 10.
You can find one that's like a bit taller, but like not the tallest tree around.
Give me a second, I'm still rolling.
Okay.
Guidance. 28.
Alright, you find the tallest tree around. Congratulations. You climb. You manage to just see like where the leaves are peeking over the canopy and all that kind of stuff, and you walk up. Whatever. Right.
He goes to.
Yeah, you walk up the tree. Yeah, you pull a Manasseh and just walk up.
Yeah.
horizontally.
I get Manasseh slippers out of my pack, slip them on, climb the tree. He walks up to the tree.
No.
Can you?
It's up.
Right, no, that's fine. Understandable. Can you hold me up as high as possible?
Yes. I feel so weird saying that. Okay, no. He does not
No?
just go, yes.
Yes, little one. Grabs him and catapults him into the stratosphere.
You see a...
Actually-
You,
You throw me as high as possible.
so you see, most of these trees, they're just mostly trunk, and then most of the branches are at the top.
Yeah.
You see the trunk kind of unfurl, and inside is like a little way you can climb up. It's not like a ladder.
Oh.
It's not like a ladder's inside, but
Okay.
more like just a
Spiral staircase.
a spiral staircase going up. No, it's just I don't know. It's just
Just walk in.
He's,
Oh, hey.
he's just going.
He just walks in.
Just going. Okay, cool.
I walk inside the tree.
You walk inside the tree, and then you end up on the top of the tree.
Very hungry.
Munch the baguette.
Very, very hungry. I didn't realize how hungry I was till I saw the baguette again.
Baguette.
He steps out on the upper portion of the tree and is like,
Did it really
Are you
take?
able to?
Sorry.
What?
Did it really take you that long to chew that bite?
very hard.
Okay, show me that bite. Show me the mark. Was that a Katie bite or was it an actual bite? Oh, okay. That's a decent bite.
I don't take shrimp bites, man.
Shrimp bites.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll be watching. If I go to North Carolina and you take a shrimp bite.
If I go like,
Yeah, no.
oh my gosh,
I
that was
would,
a mouthful.
I would beat you. Okay.
Real bites.
It's still rookie numbers.
I'm not trying to deep throat my baguette.
Why not? Come on! It's for the stream! Please!
I've cracked the straight spot. It's still colored correctly.
Why isn't this... Never mind.
What? Why aren't we demonetized already? I'm so confused.
We're already demonetized.
More.
Where's
More.
all 3 copyright strikes? Alright.
I want the channel to be taken down and deleted. This is poggers.
Sheesh.
Okay, we're doing he walks out on top of the tree and he's like,
How high can you throw me? If you don't mind me asking.
The tree branch starts to just bend a little bit. And then just
You-
how... Boing!
yeah, I was gonna say he walks out so it can get a better
Yeah.
how high does it yeet him?
probably about the height of the tree, which is in and of
The height of the
itself
tree.
about a skyscraper.
So what? Few thousand feet?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah.
No, that's exactly what I wanted.
Okay.
As he like starts feeling himself hit the apex,
Yeah.
he shifts into the young form and spreads out the wings,
Okay.
and then just like I don't have an apple, but I have a bowl of soup, right?
Same
He just
thing.
grabs it
Same
like
thing.
that,
Same thing.
right?
Okay.
He kind of like holds it like that, and closes his eyes as he unfurls his wings and slowly descends. He was told to find peace, and this is the most peaceful he felt
Okay.
since ever, actually.
Sorry.
It was falling from the ship where he felt very at peace.
Anyways. Sorry, I just had to threaten Daniel. Okay. Well.
No, I was just laughing at your threats.
Eh.
Excellent gambit.
Come here, little squishy. Okay. Yes. You are above.
Above us.
Above us. And
This is so horrible.
you find this beautiful bird's eye view of Calanthum. The vast, vast forest of the woods of Anemus. The sloped, caved in side of Ignis Porta of Incendium, just a little while away. You kind of see the little patch of trees down yonder, those trees of Zalust.
Through those trees.
The Kine, the mountain range, and the Platina, the Platinum Hills.
Closes his eye.
Sorry.
I was gonna say at some point he does close his eyes, but go ahead.
You feel that light breeze, the warm air, the beauty. You even see the fields of wildflowers. You remember despite all of its flaws and evil beings, genocide, death, lying, corruption, it still never ceases to be a gem. It's nice.
Sorry, there's. You ever get like a dry nose and like some of like the skin like
Just dies.
is flaky?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like off. I'm not picking my nose on stream.
Well, I would like to
Anyways.
inform you that your screen froze when you did this. So I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding. So like for about 30 seconds, you were just like that on the stream, which is, anyways.
A gem.
Next to you. A little innocent halfling, wildflowers stuck in their hair. Familiar smile, innocent outlook, sorry. On your other side, an old, war-torn dwarf who lives for these kind of views. The halfling kind of leans in to you. Feel how soft the hair is, despite it being dirty as heck. We're here with you, Sylvie says. We've never left. When you sit
Thank you.
there. For a long time. Before the gem glistens. It seems to have captured some of that sunlight that shines on you. And it holds it in its center. Doesn't seem like it's quite there. But each time you see it start to truly reach its archonic potential, sometimes the voices snap you out of it.
Looks, how much farther does he have to fall?
500 feet, maybe.
He'll kind of do the last bit a little faster and ask the tree.
Last time, I'm sorry to have asked it this twice.
Gong.
I don't know how to explain. He goes to like the smaller form, right? Because like physics, right?
Yeah.
Smaller form, and then as heading up goes to a bigger form, so more energy is added to the system, so to get as far as possible up,
Right.
essentially. And then switches back to the smaller form at the apex. So no wings. And he now grabs it, places it to his chest and closes his eyes as he falls and tells the voices.
What do you have to say?
I suppose they just continue on with their nonsensical drivel.
There's nothing to be said. Then leave.
He'll use mind dampen. I've got 7 minutes, I guess. That's longer than this fall will take.
If you close your eyes, you feel
Oh, he's had them closed their whole this whole time.
Yeah.
He's either keeping them closed till he hits something really hard, or something changes.
You feel like as if you're being hugged by like multiple people. By like 8 people. 11 people, sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't have that many friends. Get away! Get away! Oh, no.
You feel their warmth, their kindness. You feel protected. And now that diamond glows a sunset orange as you descend into the trees.
Yeah. As he hears the trees beginning to crack, once he stops hearing branches, still keeping his eyes closed, he'll then switch to the young form. Eyes still closed, but take the final descent. Not open his eyes till he reaches the ground.
Gentle landing. You feel like that diamond. You know the times where like somebody takes their phone out of their pocket and then gives it to you and it's like, wow, this is warm. This is pocket warm sort of thing. It's diamond pocket warm sort of thing.
I see.
Yeah.
I'll take it back.
Okay.
Let's see if it's all warmed up.
That's where we're gonna end the session.
No! Not on a pun! Okay, cool. That's fine.